Hello and welcome back to MDG Media for some extra coverage from the 2025 Eastern Meadows Open presented by Rocket Discs. This is gonna be FPO lead card for the final round. Front nine in this video, my name is Elias Luukkonen, and on the right hand side of me, Maxime Tanghe.
How is it going this morning?
Bro, I'm excited to watch some coverage. I'm happy that you guys were able to capture this round, and thank you for that.
Yeah, pretty happy about that also. So Julia Force has a 4 strokes lead on Olivia Kindstedt, so let's see if she's able to chase and put a bit of pressure on the young talent from Sweden.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty impressive play from the player we see here in the video, Julia Force. One of the most promising players we have in Europe. She's only 13 years old, already throwing the disc far and accurate, and also good putting.
Yeah, and a beautiful form also. Second on the card, we'll have Olivia Kindstedt. We had her on MDG in the past, sponsored by Latitude 64. So pretty happy to have her back, and let's see if she's able to make something happen.
And third, Jenni Karppinen, one of the potential better players in FPO in Finland. She has been able to challenge even Evelina and Henna in the past, so excited to see what she does today.
Yeah, super nice. And then Jenni Larsson, coming from Sweden. First time for me to comment on her, so pretty cool to have a new player on the coverage. Let's start on hole 1.
Yeah, hole 1 is gonna play uphill 84 meters. It's gonna be the same gap as we see in MPO. And mostly important here, just throw something straight, try to fade through the gap, hopefully miss the last 2 trees that are sort of in the middle. Ideally, it's hard to go long on this hole as it's playing a little bit uphill, but you definitely want to be in the circle if you want to run that putt into the elevated basket.
Chilling vibe on the first tee.
Presented by King, Ugglans Disc Golf and FK 360. From Kungsbacka, Sweden, give a warm welcome to Julia Force!
I saw her for the first time last year at Swedish Open, and I didn't know at first who she was, but I was already very impressed by the form. And then when I heard her name again, she has definitely become one of the staples in the Swedish FPO scene.
Next up, presented by Latitude 64 from Porvoo, Finland. Give a warm welcome to Olivia Kindstedt!
Do you think she is one of the best in Finland?
Olivia?
If you don't count the greats that are going to the States.
Yeah, I think so. I think out of the European touring players, she's definitely one of the best ones.
And a good starting drive.
Presented by Latitude 64 from Turku, Finland. Give a warm welcome to Jenni Karppinen!
And I'd say Jenni also goes to the same category. Definitely a highly talented player.
And unfortunately catching the tree in the middle.
Nordic Disc Golf, Kiad, John Bauer Hotel, and Talk Birdie to Me from Örebro, Sweden. Give a warm welcome to Jenni Larsson!
You can see one of the TDs, Simon, in the background, putting the course to amazing shape with all of the orange shirt volunteers. Definitely one of the prettier courses we have played as far as how well it has been upkept. Nobody really in the circle here. It's going to be a lot of scrambling for par. Shouldn't be too tricky here though.
Good upshot from Jenni.
Looks like a lot of pars here. Let's see if Jenni runs this. No. Not interested. I can fully understand with the elevated basket here. Julia, look at this putt.
Perfect. Good start. Good for the confidence. 6-7 meters. Not the easiest green.
I had to fact check this, but we have actually seen Julia last year in a practice round in Ale Disc Golf with Eagle McMahon.
Eagle McMahon, exactly.
And a couple of other Swedish players as well.
And I'm also wondering if we had Jenni Larsson maybe in Järva at the Silver Series last season. I'm not sure 100%, or maybe a Swedish Pro Tour. Let's go on hole 2. Difference between MPO and FPO is the par.
Yeah, only difference here. So as a par 4, if you want to play for the birdie here, you can pitch up about a 60-70 meter hyzer through the gap. Important to hit the gap though, because the first tree is very big and the gap is actually kind of tight. And then after you have thrown your drive to the fairway, you're gonna have a short-ish approach, about 60 meters downhill to a green. Approach plays really nicely for a forehand, so it's actually going to be interesting to see if these players end up going for the forehand on the second shot.
Inside or outside line? Going for the flex. Beautiful control from Julia.
Yeah, perfect shot there. And Olivia stands still. Also looks just down the middle. Seeing this, I'm thinking that many players in MPO should even do the same.
Exactly.
A lot of people in MPO got in trouble trying to reach the basket in one.
And this is what you were talking about. The first available in the middle, pretty dangerous. In the middle of your line. This is too early, went through.
Typical Swedish reaction with oi oi oi. I bet that's not the last time we're gonna hear that. So okay, Jenni actually going for the sidearm. Really nice angle here.
Yeah. Not sure where she ended up.
It's like ASMR with the bird sounds. That's gonna be not good for the birdie. Probably good for the par though. And alright, let's see. Olivia does have the sidearm skills. Going with a slow disc here.
This is high. Looks perfect. Okay.
And Julia with the same. I like to see it. Really smooth looking forehand as well. Perfect speed control, look at that.
Perfect, and it's nice help with the small roll at the end. Good answer to Olivia. Not to allow the Finnish player to come back too fast. And Jenni a bit in trouble on this hole. She's gonna putt for 4 from C2. Same for Jenni.
Jenni and Jenni. I know from experience that this can happen pretty easily in various ways on this hole. This one needs to sit down. I was almost about to mention that even the OB on the backside is kind of reachable if you do something a little bit silly. But there were Jenni at least up there for, I believe, a bogey. Now this would be a pretty important putt to make.
Almost.
Annoying miss. I feel like those are the worst when you think you already made it and then it just barely drops out.
And then you have Julia and Olivia with easy birdies. It should be. That center, 8 and 4 down, still 4 strokes. And it kind of puts Jenni in a hard spot to get back at Julia for the win. Maybe 7 strokes now, separating the leader with our 2 players.
Yeah, for sure, especially
And
today.
even more.
The wind is actually kind of down, so it's not like we're gonna have crazy wind on the back 9 like in the prior 2 days. Moving on to hole number 3, 83 meters, a very natural shape for the backhand, flat to hyzer with something overstable. You want to go just around the corner of the trees here on the left side and then move drastically to the left with your overstable fade. You can choose to go for the backside gap, which would go around the 2 trees we just saw on the right side of the screen, or you can go for the gap that the drone is flying more inside. Most important thing though, just get far left, and ideally you don't really want to run any long putts on this one. Probably outside the circle you're always laying up.
Depending on the confidence you have on the green. So Julia is wide right, unfortunately catching a tree. That's going to be a layup from, not a layup, upshot from probably 35 meters.
Yeah, that makes the decision easy on you. You don't need to think about running it or laying up. It's always a layup from that distance. And Olivia here, solid power, just not quite moving far enough left. And that's going to be in that range where, I mean, you maybe rather be further out or a little bit closer, because from there the risk of 3-putting is just huge.
Yeah, exactly what you were mentioning as you were introducing. Decision making incoming for Olivia. Early release for Jenni Larsson. And this is high, but that's going to move left pretty nicely.
Nice shot.
Inside the circle, 7-8 meters. It can be tricky if you're not confident on the green also. Let's see if Jenni is running it or not.
Yeah, Jenni was actually watching our round in round 2 and round 3, as she had some friends on the card where I was playing, and she was talking about not feeling super comfortable on the green in this tournament. Let's see, a couple of nice layups there from the card, and Olivia to get 1 stroke back on Julia. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but to me it's crazy because I probably would have laid up from there.
Oh, 12 meters, showing confidence. Oh, good to run it.
Yeah, I
Not
respect
the
the
worst.
effort.
Yeah, exactly. Not the worst putting stroke. So another bogey for Jenni. So 3 strokes between our first 2 players. Interesting.
Let's move on to hole number 4. It's a touchy right bending shot. Plays really nicely for a forehand, or you can go for that slight backhand turnover if you feel more comfortable with it. Most important thing here is to first of all hit the gap and then control the distance. You don't want to be very short because this hole does offer some tricky death putts if you're short side of the green. But if you go basket high in the air, you're definitely gonna be far past. So pretty touchy hole, I'd say, and this is gonna be a good measure of the player's accuracy and also their ability to slow the disc down.
This could be very nice. Okay. Tight line of the tee. But this is an easy non-decision making putt coming, as she's long and going for an uphill putt.
Julia, powerful shot there. Good angle control. Not playing for the touch, but rather just trying to crash the hillside. I like the play there.
Tricky putt coming though. Same for Jenni. A bit smoother on the form, but same result.
Yeah, really nice shot so far. The gap is actually not so easy to hit. And this is also looking nice.
Oh,
Just inside. Niced it.
yeah, unfortunate kick. The line looked pretty decent. Good throws from the tee. For our lead card, Jenni Larsson first.
Yeah, no sense running it from there. And Olivia, let's see. Pretty much the same exact putt as she had on the last hole. Looked pretty nice. Right, this is one of the scariest putts on the course.
Wow. Great putt from Julia. 2 down. And taking the stroke back after losing it on the previous hole.
Man, I really love the angle and the spin that she puts on. Just this little nose up, flat, and a lot of spin. And that's a good one from Jenni. Alright, let's go, hole 5. Another similar distance hole as the last one, just 76 meters this time. Perfectly dead straight, so you can prefer your disc here. You can throw a putter, you can throw a mid-range, you can even throw a fairway driver if you want to the hillside, short of the basket. Good play is gonna be something flat. Today there's actually no wind, so you don't have to worry about your disc turning over to the right, unlike the first 2 days. And yeah, pretty simple shot. Just need to hit it, it's right there in front of you.
Miss it. Looked good. Slightly late.
The gap here may be looking even slightly smaller on the video as Jenni throws a beautiful shot.
Very nice. It's gonna be an easy birdie to get back to even for Jenni. This is late, but this is gonna go. No, not around.
Like this line. Just missed the last tree.
Perfect.
There you go. Just a couple of meters left.
Yeah, also in the need of birdies. Good for the Yennies. And a tester coming for Olivia. Important putt. Oh,
Good looking release, but just a bit nose down there. Or early, depending how you want to see it. That's a good birdie though from Jenni. Yeah, we're pretty early in the day here. Still warm enough. I think this final round was probably the warmest weather out of 3.
yeah, exactly. And the less windy, best conditions on the last day.
Yeah, a lot of players were happy because our first 2 tournaments of the season in Scotland and also in Karppinen, the weather wasn't that warm. So it finally feels like the summer season has officially started.
Hole 6.
Yeah, moving on. Same hole for both MPO and FPO here, just 89 meters. You have a couple of options of the tee. You can go for a perfectly straight gap. That is a little bit tighter than the left side gap. The left side gap is gonna play better for a forehand hyzer or a backhand anhyzer. Yeah, on this one you just wanna crash the hillside short and hopefully slide your way up to the basket. Pretty tricky to go super far past, I would think, with the slight low ceiling of the tee and the uphill slope at the end.
Weird cut at the edit, but we saw the disc. So cut one of the first branch and too short in the end. And so opting for this gap is pretty ballsy, let's say. It's definitely tighter, not easy to go straight at the basket. Oh wow, this is far better and super beautiful.
Nice shot. Unfortunate on the reaction, actually, that can happen on this hole. But I love her shots. She's just committing to every shot. It's cool to see. And Olivia, now this play I really like, going for the forehand, but through the straight gap.
Okay.
Surprising play there.
Overcooked. Wow, this is a great upshot from a stencil position. Good recovery from Jenni. Same for Olivia, good control on this forehand.
Yeah, easy pars. And Jenni, par, gotta be a par as well.
Same, let's see if Julia is able to capitalize and take on a 6 strokes lead.
See 2 putt here.
Wow.
Look at this. Wow.
Beautiful. 3 down through 6. Very solid. And reaching the double digits under the par. She doesn't seem to be stressed at all.
No.
There are cameras. She knows she's lead card. She could potentially win her first major event. 6 strokes on Olivia, very nice from Julia.
In January 2026, MDG Media is heading to Senegal for a mission unlike any before. Not just to film disc golf, but to build it from the ground up. We will create the country's first ever disc golf course, visit local schools, donate discs and baskets, and share the game with communities ready to discover it. Through every step, you will be right there with us, thanks to a full-length documentary and live updates on social media. This is not just a one-time trip. It's about spreading the disc golf spirit and making a lasting impact. We truly believe that our sport can help make the world a better place.
And do not hesitate to click on the QR code, guys. It's a very important project in January 2026. So if you can be part of it, please help us. Thank you. Hole 7.
Hole 7 gonna be the shortest hole on the course, just 58 meters uphill, playing about 70. Want to throw something straight through between the tree on the left, tree on the right, tree on the right. Just hit the hillside a little bit short of the basket and then skip up there. It's a hole where you pretty much need to have a putt. The gap is pretty wide, and even if you miss the gap, you are usually putting up there somewhere.
Slightly early left side of the tree. That's gonna be an easy birdie incoming.
Jenni starting with a double bogey on hole 2, but actually has gotten it together pretty nicely after already even par. Chance to go 1 under there.
Yeah, just inside the circle, 7 meters uphill putt coming. Same for the second Jenni.
So everybody putting here besides Olivia, and gonna be putting as she misses that tree just perfectly. I feel like that's sort of the most common theme here, to miss that tree on the left side as you're trying to move a little bit left at the end. Throw it a little bit early, miss the tree to the left, and hopefully still in the circle. So we have even potential to maybe make a star frame here. Unfortunately not here.
Wobbly release for Jenni, just too low. Oh yeah, that's center, a good pace, and also back to even.
Yeah, really clean there, and Olivia putting pretty hard. I like the confidence. I think especially if you are a little bit nervous, which I doubt at this moment. I don't think she's at all nervous. It's hole 7 and she's already gotten into the rhythm. But if you're a bit nervous, I think it's better to putt harder than softer, as you have less time to make a mistake.
And still 6-stroke lead for Julia after 7 holes.
Moving on, hole 8. Actually, I think one of the trickier holes on the front nine potentially, as the gap is somewhat tight and you have this low branch which you have to choose very deliberately if you want to go over or under. I would expect some forehands, but mostly backhand turnovers. With backhand you actually want to go usually over the branch with something like a mid-range or a putter. And yeah, you can throw it pretty much as hard as you want because the hillside on the long side is going to stop your disc. Let's see what the players do here.
Yeah, the only thing that can happen if you hit the right line. A bit of scramble incoming for Julia.
This looks really nice. Perfectly above the branch. Yeah, that's just perfect.
Perfect from Jenni to go under par if she makes the putt.
So Olivia, she has some good power on the forehand. So I'd say definitely this hole plays easier for the forehand. Kind of pulling it there. But I like the thought, and I like the fact that she has put in the time to work to make that forehand a very usable option here.
Decent. 7 meters tester coming.
Jakub Semerad agrees. Decent. Not ecstatic about it. That's probably actually gonna be the first bogey of Julia, if she can get up and down from here.
First mistake for our young lady. And still a tester. Okay, so now we have a 2-stroke swing between Julia and Olivia. Back to 4 strokes.
Pretty mature decision to lay up from there.
I think it's wise. She's in a comfortable seat. She doesn't have to worry too much at the moment. Needs to stay focused, play her game.
Yeah, I feel like not only the comfortable lead, but also when you lay up in that spot, you're more in control. So let's say you made an effort to run the putt and you missed it. Even though if it was a good run, there could be a lot of stress going on if the disc rolls away or something like this,
Exactly.
even if you make the putt. So it's good to stay in control like that.
Keeping the calm mindset. Last hole of the front nine.
Yeah, last hole. Actually, surprisingly, one of the trickier ones to birdie. It's the 5th most difficult hole on the course here. 94 meters. Mostly gonna be a straight shot here. You have some OB right long, which you have to avoid. But I'd say this fits this mid-range / stable fairway driver shot really well. Want the disc to be naturally fading left rather than turning to the right.
Oh, wow.
Another solid one there. Jenni really showing the way for us. I think that's exactly what she did to go with a fairway driver there, a slightly stable fairway driver.
Very nice control from Jenni.
Now the wind is actually picking up a little bit. This is probably going to be the most wind you can see on this hole today. And look at this kick, so unfortunate. I don't think the shot was that bad, just slightly turned, but getting punished with a huge kick there. OB and pretty much guaranteed bogey or worse.
Another miss from inside the circle, unfortunately for Jenni. Not able to capitalize on the birdie opportunities. And a very putting stroke again on Olivia's hand. 3 down, putting some pressure on Julia now.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of trouble here on the last 2 holes of the front nine for Julia. And Olivia keeping steady. Their putting stroke is looking absolutely solid right now. Just like that, from going from a very comfortable lead to a lead that doesn't feel comfortable at all. Just 2 strokes. We have a lot of difficult holes coming up on the back. This is actually setting up to be a pretty interesting battle on the back here.
Yeah, now 2 strokes and a 4-stroke swing on the last 2 holes. It can enter your mind and it can be dangerous for the last 9 holes. Julia needs to stay steady and to keep the mindset she had on the first 7 holes, just playing her game and enjoying it. I think it's the best, but not easy in that kind of situation.
Absolutely. We're gonna see how this tournament unfolds there on the back nine. Thank you MDG for gathering this footage, and thank you Max for being here with me.
And thanks to you, bro. Always a pleasure. Thanks to everybody watching the video, and we'll see you on the back nine.